Joe, we'll start with you. Do you think Lando is under more pressure? He has more podiums than anybody in the history of the sport who hasn't stood on the top step yet. Is he under more pressure to deliver and get that first win for McLaren?
I do feel he's under more pressure. It's starting to build up more and more, and we see this in multiple disciplines of motorsports where somebody's getting second place time and time again. And everyone keeps asking, when are you going to get your first win? When are you going to break through, get into victory lane, or in this case, a top spot of the podium? It has to get to a point where for Lando Norris, he has to prove he could put together the perfect race. We know the closest he came was Sochi until the rain showed up. The sprint race, it looked like that was going to be a perfect opportunity to go out there, get the clean air, but he didn't have that great of a start. Lewis Hamilton pushed him wide, lost the grip, race was over essentially for Lando. This race, it seems like if he knows he's contending for the podium, you could count on him to be up there battling. But I almost get the sense when he's trying to go for the win, he starts to make some mistakes or puts himself under too much pressure and then starts making the mistakes, which leads to him not getting the most out of the race car, out of himself. So I do think the pressure is building up. I don't anticipate McLaren's going to be thinking about replacing him anytime soon, but I definitely think it has a lot of folks wondering, can he get it done? Will he be one of those drivers that they end up not getting a win? I still think there's potential, especially what we saw today, but he has to get over that, and he has to do that starting with himself, putting himself in a position to win and not letting the pressure get to him.
Yeah, Joe, I totally get what you're saying, but right now, given how strong Red Bull and Max Verstappen are right now, he's gonna have to try to get a win when he can. You're gonna need to have a situation like the Australian Grand Prix with Max Verstappen going out. Until then, I don't really see many realistic opportunities for Lando Norris to go out there and get that first win. If McLaren is able to give him a much better car since he's signed for with McLaren for the foreseeable future, I really feel like unless Red Bull has an off day like they did in Australia, then it's going to be very hard for Lando Norris to finally stand on the top step of the podium in Formula One. I do think that he'll get there at some point, but I think his opportunities right now are few and far between. And yes, I think he's certainly under pressure to try to get that first win, but there's really not many opportunities to make that happen right now. I really feel like he needs to have Max and Red Bull run into some issues for that to really happen.